Hello and welcome to another edition of Spite Incorporated with your host, Nace Flaw. Let me just start off by saying the state of Philadelphia radio stations is just deplorable. I accidentally left the radio on in my car last night, and so when I started up to go to work today, one of the morning shows was on, and it's just god-awful. I mean, really, Philadelphia's been in a steady state of decline for decades now when it comes to radio. I don't understand why. I mean, New York City is supposed to be pretty strong. LA, of course, pretty strong. DC is supposed to have a pretty good network, too, from what I hear. I've never really been down there to listen myself. So we're in the middle of a couple of two of the biggies. Why can't we have a strong market? I don't find that too much to ask, really. Our morning shows are just terrible and hackneyed. We have no good night shows. We used to back in the day. When I was a kid, we were all the boys were about WDRE, and they just had a great lineup, and then they closed down and everybody moved to their sister station, Y100, so we assumed Y100 would become the next greatest thing, and it didn't. And eventually they closed down, and everybody moved to YSP, and then they moved to MMR, and MMR is just like mostly classic rock at this point, and they have Preston and Steve in the morning, and that's really all they got going for them. Like, I just want a station that presents new stuff once in a while, like play your Led Zeppelin, that, freaking Stairway to Heaven 40 times a day, but every once in a while it'd be like, hey, here's a new local band that you never heard of before. Whatever, just a suggestion. However, I'm driving right now to my new company's first town hall meeting. Well, it's first for me, and which is interesting in the sense, it's not interesting because it's a town hall meeting. Many large companies have them. They're kind of bull in a sense. But here's a good way to tell if a town hall meeting is worth anyone's effort. Are the temps invited? If the temps aren't invited, then the grunts are invited, but they're not there to learn anything. And then if you don't invite the grunts, though, then it's just managers and up, and then it's not a town hall meeting. It's pretty much every other meeting that a company has. I never see the point of them, because as a grunt, I don't really care that much. Unless you're telling me, you're going to lay me off, which that's never happened at a town hall meeting. Not yet. But, wow, I couldn't go through another call like that anytime soon. Like, give me some time to adjust to the twice that the last company did that to me. But no, I don't see what they're going to say. They're going to spin any decline in profits and yada yada yada. Now, what I find interesting is that it's in a movie theater. Like, that's the nearest venue for the number of employees at this location, and it's split into two meetings. So this is the second one that I'm going to, which my boss told me is good, because that means they definitely have to end at a certain point, as opposed to the first one, which can run on a bit. But since they only have the venue for a specific period of time, they have to end it, get everybody out. But yeah, I just find it interesting that we're meeting in a movie theater, the local IMAX. So I hope it has some epic sound, maybe some cool special effects. But what I really wanted to talk about today was using Twitter, because I think you should use Twitter. I've learned to love it. It has a learning curve. That's the problem. And it's not so much a learning curve with the graphic user interface, or buttons that are available, or things you can do with it. It's more a social learning curve, because you have to find your place in it. You have to find the niche that you enjoy reading. You have to find the niche that you enjoy posting to. And there are a lot of niches. There are a lot of styles. Unfortunately, there's a lot of media consultants that are always trying to tell you the correct style, which I'm not too sure if there is a correct style. I can tell you what has worked for me, what particular projects have worked for me, and what particular projects haven't. I think the trick is I really started enjoying using it when I picked up Tweetcaster. Tweetcaster can use a number of user accounts, which I have like 6 Twitter accounts that I moderate at this point. They all have different functions, but the biggest factor with Tweetcaster is that you can mute people. So I think it's important to get any kind of Twitter client that can mute people, because if you just use Twitter.com, you can't ignore people, and sometimes you want to be supportive, but you don't want to listen to people. Case in point, I have a buddy that does tech support. He started his own like tech support firm, kind of a geek squad. But and good for him. Good for him for going his own route and putting his skills to use, trying to get some extra money on the side, hopefully building something. But the problem is I know how to do tech support. I will never use his services. I don't need his tips or tricks. But I want to show my support. So unlike Facebook, where you can like something and then you can tell it never show up in my news feed, Twitter doesn't have that feature. You have to listen to it. Unless you have a client that, and when I say client, I mean program, for those that don't know that term, you have to have a Twitter program that can mute. So now, when I use Tweetcaster, I can go on there and I will never see his tweets unless I go to his profile. And we've done that. We've done that where we've sent each other, private message or called each other up and said, "Listen, I want to promote X. Could you please retweet this?" Sure, no problem. But otherwise, I don't pay attention. However, there are some consultants that say that you should post the same thing 4 times a day. Post it like 6 hours apart. To me, that would annoy the hell out of me. I don't follow people that tweet a lot. If I see that you're an author, a business, anything that tweets every 15 minutes, I will not follow you. I have no interest. I don't have the attention span for it. I want once a day, twice a day maybe, 3 times on a busy day. That's the way I post. That's the way I want to read. That way, if you're only doing once or twice a day, I can follow 100 people. 100 people posting once or twice a day? That's fine. That's easy. 100 people posting every 15 minutes for like an 8-hour span? No, I can't get behind that. But that's me. That may work on a different level. I noticed, to pull a big name, Writer's Digest, they post all the time. They really are like every 10-15 minutes. But they have a huge following. It's not the same tweet all the time. I mean, they're promoting seminars, they're promoting new books, new blog posts, they're promoting a lot of stuff. And so they really have to tweet a lot. And they're also trying to go for that world market, so they can do that whole, 24-hour, every 6 hours kind of thing, because, maybe somebody in Britain is interested in Writer's Digest, but isn't up 9 to 5 Eastern Standard Time, and isn't paying attention. And if they go to their Twitter and you haven't posted, sorry about that, somebody's not paying attention to the light. If you're not posting when they're paying attention, then they're not reading you. Simple as that. You'll get flooded out by other people. So you really got to figure out, what are you comfortable with posting, like your frequency, what are you comfortable with reading. Now, if you don't want to read at all, and if you don't want to post at all, if you're like, hey, I'm more of a Facebook guy, then that's easy. That's real easy. What you do is you go into Facebook and you can link the two. You can link the two so anything that you say on Facebook will translate to Twitter. Now, there are a couple things to keep in mind when you do this. Twitter is still only 140 characters. If you go over 140 characters, it will link back to Facebook for the rest of it, which may be good, because then if somebody follows you on Twitter and doesn't know what your Facebook is, which should be a no-no, you should have all these links available and linked all together and, available in one place. There's no excuse for fans not to know where your links are, but just saying. They can click back, find your Facebook page, like it, do whatever they want with it. Also keep in mind that if you post URLs, Twitter is going to shorten them. So the full URL will not go against the 140 characters. It will go against some characters, but if you have a link that's extremely long, it's not going to, break the 140 character rule. So there's that. The problem with that is Facebook changes its settings all the time. It changes its API. So you got to check that link every once in a while. You just got to make sure that what you're posting on the one is posting to the other. You can also link the other direction. Post anything that you tweet will show up on your Facebook page. That, I think, is a little cleaner. There are some downsides to it, of course. But we'll talk about that maybe on a more Facebook page audio post. With the Twitter, though, with the Twitter, the tweets, the twats, you can just set it up there. You can set it up nice in WordPress so that anytime you post a blog, it'll post to Twitter. So you can do all these things with Twitter that you don't even need to do anything, really. You can go about your business, and everything else will post your business to Twitter, and then never pay attention to it again. But if you really want to engage, if you really want to be active on Twitter, well, consultants say different things. The general consensus seems to be that you want to do like a 70-30 or 80-20 kind of mix, where the majority of what you write is trying to engage potential customers or existing customers, or reposting, retweeting, content that you find interesting. Basically tweeting stuff that isn't solely about you selling stuff. That's what the majority of it comes down to. And then the other 20 is, of course, you trying to sell stuff. Other 20 or 30. So you want to try to mix it up. It's just like being at any kind of party. And I should probably go because I have a cop behind me, and I don't know what the laws are in this town. I'll continue this in another post, and maybe talk about what the if anything interesting happens at the town hall meeting. Until then, check out black-ring.net or follow me on A Coincidence on Twitter. Thank you. Peace.